Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, we are going to see the first game of a short three-game homestand against the St. Louis Cardinals. This will be the first time we've seen the hated rivals Cardinals this season in Wrigley Field. The Cubs just finished a four-game road trip where they lost 3 out of 4 games at Pittsburgh. They did manage to come back in that last game and avoid a sweep. However, the Cubs have some work to do, sitting at 6-7 and 4th place in the Central Division. Let's begin today's game against the Cardinals. The Cubs lineup for David Ross today is going to be Jason Hayward leading off in right field, followed by second baseman David Fletcher, first baseman Anthony Rizzo, shortstop Javier Baez, left fielder Kyle Schwarber, third baseman Chris Bryant, catcher Wilson Contreras, and in center field today, Ian Happ starting in place of Albert Almora. Cubs will send Kyle Hendricks to the mound for his third start of the season. He is 1-1 with a .450 ERA. For the Cardinals, leading off is second baseman Colton Wong, followed by third baseman Matt Carpenter, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, leading the team, tied for the team lead, I guess, with 3 home runs. Left fielder Jay Bruce, another home run threat. Shortstop Paul DeJong, right fielder Dexter Fowler, center fielder Harrison Bader, catcher Yadier Molina, and the Cardinal pitcher making his second start of the season will be Miles McCollus. He is 1-1 with a .180 ERA. Let's play some ball. Cardinals leadoff batter Wong is standing in the box, ready to lead off this game against Kyle Hendricks. Cubs and Cardinals have identical records at 6-7. Hendricks looking in with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And Wong hits the ball into center field over Baez's head. He will take a single. And that'll bring up Carpenter with nobody out and runner on first. 3-1 count. And that'll be a base hit to left field. Carpenter hits it on a line out to left field. Schwarber plays it on one hop. The throw goes into third, which prevents the runner from running to the wrong base. And now Goldschmidt will bat with nobody out and 2 men on. First pitch to Goldschmidt. He pops it up behind first base. Rizzo looks like he's going to have a play. And it hits the heel of his glove and rolls away. I don't understand why that wasn't an infield fly. The Cardinals have the bases loaded and nobody out on the Rizzo error at first base. I'm not sure why the umpire didn't signal for an infield fly on that particular play. I guess Rizzo was standing on the grass in short right field. But here we are. Hendricks now pitching. Bases full of Cardinals. Jay Bruce the batter. With the pitch, there's a ground ball to second. Fletcher to Baez to Rizzo. And that'll be 2 outs. The run does score. But the Cubs are well on their way to mitigating the damage here in the top of the first. And DeJong will now bat with Carpenter on third and 2 down. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Hendricks is able to mitigate the damage, allowing only 1 run I believe that run will be unearned on 2 Cardinal hits. And we go to the bottom of the first now with Cardinals leading 1-0. Former Cardinal Jason Hayward standing in to lead off for the Cubs. 1-2 count. And Hayward hits it on the ground to second base. That's going to be an easy play as the runner Hayward is thrown out at first. Fletcher will now be the batter. Nobody on, 1 out, 1-1 count. Fletcher hits it hard into center field. That is going to one-hop to the wall. Fletcher heading for second. He's going to make a big turn and head all the way to third. The throw is cut off, and does not get to third on time. Fletcher has a triple with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning, and Rizzo will now be the batter. 1-2 count with the pitch. And Rizzo watches strike 3 just sail right by him. A slider on the outside corner. I guess there's probably not much he could have done with that pitch. But at the same time, now there are 2 outs. The runner still standing on third. Baez the batter. 1-2 count. And Baez hits it out to right field. The right fielder has to go a long ways. He was shaded over toward right center. But he does catch it in front of the wall for the 3rd out. Cardinals do end up retiring the Cubs and not allowing the runner to score from third. Go down to the top of the 2nd. 1-0 Cardinals. Hendricks with a 3-1 count, pitching to Dexter Fowler. And Fowler, the former Cub, heads down to first. Harrison Bader is now the batter for the Cardinals with nobody out and a runner on first. Hendricks looks in. Here's the pitch. And that is well hit to left field. I don't know if Schwarber's going to get to that one. He does not. The ball is out on the street behind left field. Bader just hit a home run to put the Cardinals up 3-0. Molina now the batter with nobody out. Hendricks with a 1-0 pitch. And Molina pops it up to center. Happ is going to take a couple of steps, and he is going to make that play. That'll be the first out of the inning for the Cardinals. Cardinals pitcher McCollus is now the batter. 1-2 count. And strike 3 looking on an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Probably only get away with that with the pitcher. But Hendricks records the 2nd out. Wong now the batter. 2-2 count. And Wong hits it to center field. Happ adjusts and makes the catch. Took about 3 steps in center field and got under that. And the Cardinals are retired, but not after 2 more runs are scored on the home run, and now have a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 2nd. Schwarber will bat with a full count to lead off the 2nd inning for the Cubs. He hits it on a line to right field. That drops in front of the right fielder. Fowler doesn't really make the extra effort to try to make that play, and Schwarber is standing on first. Bryant now the batter. Cubs down 3-0, trying to get something going here. He hits it on the ground to third base, and he got the double play going. Third to second to first. And the Cubs now have 2 outs and nobody on. Contreras is the batter. First pitch to Contreras. Fly ball skied to center field pretty high. Looks like that's going to be playable, and it is. Contreras is retired. Cubs go down to the bottom of the 2nd. Go down to the top of the 3rd with a 3-0 Cardinal lead. Hendricks will pitch to Carpenter with a 2-2 count, lead off the 3rd. Fly ball to right, Hayward coming in, and he makes the play. And that'll be the first out of the top of the 3rd inning. Goldschmidt now the batter with 1 out. 1-1 count. Hendricks comes to the plate. It's a ground ball to Baez. Shortstop fires it over to first and retires Goldie for the 2nd out. And we now have Jay Bruce standing in from the left side. Jay Bruce will bat with a 2-0 count and 2 out. And he hits a little looper behind first base. Rizzo is able to get there and make the play, put him away. The Cardinals are retired in order in the top of the third inning. We go now to the bottom of the third with the Cubs trailing 3-0. 2-2 count to Happ. And Happ watches strike 3 go by on the outside corner. McCollus now pitching to Hendricks, batting for himself in the bottom of the third. 0-1 count to Hendricks. There's a ground ball to third base, and Hendricks grounds out third to first. 2 down now in the bottom of the third inning. Hayward now will bat. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Hayward hits it pretty hard to right field. I think that's going to be playable, and it looks like Fowler is able to pull it in on the warning track in right field. The wind blowing in from right knocked that down a bit. And we go now to the top of the fourth with the Cardinals still leading 3-0. Full count, Hendricks with the pitch. Fly ball to left center field. This time Happ chases it down and he makes the play in front of the wall. 1 down for Fowler to bat in the top of the fourth. 1-2 count with the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Fowler is retired for the second out. Harrison Bader hit a home run his last time up. He stands in against Hendricks now with the full count. And he is walked. Hendricks did not give in to him. He threw him a pitch low and away. And Bader, with a pretty good eye, allows that to go by. Yadier Molina will now bat for the Cardinals with runner on first and 2 down. 3-1 count to Molina. And he watches ball 4 go by. I don't think that that's really what Hendricks intended. But at the same time, here we are. 2 outs now. 2 men on base. And the Cardinal pitcher up to bat. 3-1 count. He hits it on a line. He splits the gap between third and short. The runner coming around third for home. The throw is late. And the Cardinal pitcher, McCollus, just delivered an RBI single. The Cubs are now trailing 4-0 in the top of the fourth. Still runners on first and second. Wong the batter. Hendricks with the pitch. Ground ball to short. Hopefully this is going to end the inning. Baez flips to Fletcher at second, and that'll retire the side. But not before another run is scored. The Cardinals now lead 4-0, going to the bottom of the fourth. Fletcher will lead off for the Cubs. Bottom of the fourth inning. He hits a routine ground ball over to first. The pitcher, McCollus, covers first, takes the throw from Goldschmidt, and that retires Fletcher to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. Rizzo now the batter with a 2-1 count, looking for his pitch. He hits a ground ball to second base. The second baseman, Wong, throws to first, and the Cubs now have 2 outs. Baez is the next batter. 2-1 count to Baez. He hits it on a line to right field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. The right fielder was shifted again toward right center. Baez is heading for third. He is going to slide in with a triple. And Baez, with some excellent base running, gets around to third with 2 outs now and Schwarber the batter. Cubs trying to chip into this 4-0 Cardinal lead. Oh, and it's a wild pitch, and Baez runs home. The throw is late. Baez will score, and the Cubs are on the board, down 4-1. Schwarber now the batter. 2 outs, a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Schwarber swings and misses on strike 3. Well, the Cubs do get a run, but they still trail the Cardinals 4-1 going into the top of the fifth. Hendricks coming out for his 5th inning of work will face the Cardinal third baseman Matt Carpenter lead off the inning. Carpenter hits the ball on the ground to second. Fletcher had to dive for that. He tries to throw from his knees, and he throws that ball away. Rizzo had no chance at getting that. That's going to be a throwing error for Fletcher at second. The runner, Carpenter, makes it to second base. And now we're going to see Goldschmidt batting with nobody out, and the Cardinals trying to add to a 4-1 lead. Goldschmidt hits it high in the air. Second baseman Fletcher is going back. This one he does manage to field cleanly and make the out. Jay Bruce will now bat. Carpenter still standing on second, now with one out. Here's the pitch. And they're going to intentionally walk Jay Bruce. That is going to set up the force with the Cardinals' number 5 batter, DeYoung, being brought up in this situation. Here's an 0-2 count, and DeYoung hits it, and he just crushes it. That is about 10 rows deep into the left center field stands, and the Cardinals now own a 7-1 lead. That is a 415-foot home run for DeYoung, and that'll drive in 3. That'll be the end of the day also for Hendricks. Check out his line. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 7 runs, 5 of which are earned. He issued 4 walks while recording 3 strikeouts and allowed 2 home runs. Not a very effective day for Kyle Hendricks. Alec Mills is the new pitcher for the Cubs to face the batter, Dexter Fowler. Pardon me. Here's the first pitch from Mills with a 1-0 count. And that's a high fly ball to center field. It looks like Happ is going to be able to get under that, and he does. Harrison Bader will be the batter now to face Alec Mills with 2 outs and a 2-1 count. Ground ball over to first. Rizzo flips to Mills covering first, and that'll retire the Cardinals, but not before 3 more runs are scored on the DeYoung 3-run homer. And now, Cardinals go into the bottom of the 5th, owners of a 7-1 lead. McCollus looked sharp so far through his first 4 innings of work, is going to face the Cubs' number 6 batter, Bryant, to lead off this Cub half of the 5th inning. Bryant hits it hard. That's going to be a double for Bryant. He gets it all the way to the wall. He rounds first, sliding into second now with a hard hit line drive to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cubs now trying to get something going. Bryant standing on second, nobody out. Contreras the batter. Full count to Contreras. And McCollus throws it, I don't know, kind of an unintentional, intentional walk. He throws it way outside, and Contreras really wasn't going to chase that pitch. He decided he wasn't going to give in, I guess, with the full count. And now the batter will be Happ with 2 men on and nobody out in the Cub half of the 5th inning. 2-2 count to Happ with the pitch. Happ hits it on the ground, first to second to first. That is actually a 3-6-3 double play, as the shortstop DeYoung was covering second. And the Cardinals now have 2 down with a runner on third attempting to protect this 7-1 lead. Steven Souza will pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. He is 1 for 3 so far this season, and Alec Mills' day will be over. 1-0 count to Souza. Here's the pitch. He hits it on a line to left field. That's going to drop in front of the left fielder. Bryant will come home to score. The Cubs now have a 7-2 deficit with the Souza single to left field. Nice piece of hitting right there by Souza to drive in the run. He gets an RBI single, and Hayward now the batter with 1 out and 1 on and 2 out. And Hayward hits it up the middle. That's going to bounce in front of the center fielder, and he gets a base hit. So the Cubs now have 2 men on and 2 out, and Fletcher is the batter in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bader alertly threw that ball to third to prevent Souza from continuing to advance. Fletcher, now the batter, with a 2-1 count. And he hits it on the ground over to first. The first baseman Goldschmidt fields cleanly and walks back over to the bag to end the inning, retiring Fletcher. Cubs do get another run, and they cut into the Cardinal lead now at 7-2. Molina will bat against the new Cub pitcher McGill. Molina standing in at 0-1 today. McGill with the first pitch in the top of the sixth inning. And that's well hit to left field. That is going to be off the wall in left field. Molina slides into second with a double. Schwarber had to run a long way to chase that one down. There was really no chance of getting Molina, although he didn't get to second base particularly quickly. And now the pitcher McCollus will bat with nobody out and the runner standing on second. 2-2 count with the pitch. Check swing umpire says he went around, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Wong will now bat with Molina standing on second and 1 out. 3-1 count with the pitch. And Wong was not offering it a ball down in the dirt. In that case, the runner walks down to first with a base on balls. The Cardinals now have first and second and 1 out. And I guess the bright side to this is the force out is in order again. Double play could potentially end the inning on a ground ball. Carpenter now the batter with a 2-0 count with the pitch. He hits it over Fletcher's head into right field. Hayward is chasing. He will not get to it. The ball goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. The throw is late to home. And Matt Carpenter just hit a 2-run double, and the Cardinals are now up 9-2. Goldschmidt now the batter, with the Cubs just trying to stop the bleeding here in the top of the sixth. 1-2 count. And Goldschmidt is struck out on a changeup. I guess that was a pretty good pitch right there by McGill to fool Goldschmidt. And now Bruce will be the batter with 2 outs and the runner still standing on second in the form of Carpenter. 1-2 count. Strike 3 swinging. And that'll end the Cardinals half of the sixth inning. We go now to the bottom of the sixth with the Cubs trailing 9-2. The Cubs number 3 batter will lead off. Let's see if the Cubs can get something going with the middle of the lineup coming up. Rizzo will stand in against McCollus, and he hits it on a line past the second baseman into right field. He will lead off the Cub half of the sixth inning with a single. And here is Baez. Baez is batting with Rizzo on first, nobody out. 3-1 count. Baez hits it high to left field. It looks like he might have chased ball 4 there, but he hits it to left. The left fielder, Bruce, makes the catch for the first out, and Rizzo is unable to tag up in advance. Schwarber will now bat. Runner on first, 1 down. 3-1 count to Schwarber. Popped up to center field. The wind is going to carry this back toward the center fielder and allow the play to be made. And Schwarber flies out for the second out of the inning. Bryant is now the batter with Rizzo standing on first and 2 out. Full count to Bryant. There's a ground ball up the middle. The second baseman has it, and he throws to first. The shift was on, and the second baseman fielded that directly behind second, and he's able to throw out Bryant at first to retire the side. Go now to the top of the seventh, with the Cardinals still leading 9-2. DeYoung will come out to bat against McGill. McGill is entering his second inning of work with a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center. Excuse me. Almora's going back, but that'll be playable, and he does pull it in for the first out. Nagowski will now be a pinch hitter for the Cardinals. and potentially a defensive replacement in the next inning. We'll see how the Cardinal manager decides to handle his lineup. But with one out, here's the pitch. There is a fly ball that is going to be caught behind second base by the second baseman, Fletcher. Harrison Bader will now bat in the Cardinal half of the seventh inning with a 2-out and 3-1 count. And he gets a base hit up the middle. That is over Baez's head and out of his reach. Clean single right there by Bader. And it'll bring up Molina with 2 outs and a runner on first. 0-2 count to Molina with the pitch. Molina hits it to left field, but that is going to be playable for Schwarber. He hustles over and puts it away for the 3rd out of the inning. Cardinals do not score in the top of the 7th, and the Cubs come up now in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 9-2. We want to thank our guest conductor for the 7th inning stretch. Coming up here on his off day from South Bend is former Cub Kerry Wood. 1-1 count now. Contreras leading off the Cub half of the 7th inning. He hits a ground ball to third. The throw to first is in the dirt, but Goldschmidt digs it out and retires Contreras for the 1st out. Happ now the batter, standing in on the left side against the righty McCollus with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. And Happ is hit by that pitch. He tried to bail out, but he was not able to get out of the way. And that will bring up the pitcher's spot, and a pinch hitter will be Albert Almora. The Cubs will also utilize a pinch runner, Descalzo, at first. I wonder if it's possible. Yes, Ian Happ was injured while he was hit by that pitch. And we'll have to ask the trainer for an update at the end of the game on Ian Happ. Almora now the batter with the runner Descalzo at first. Cubs still trailing 9-2. 1 out, 0-1 pitch. Almora hits it high to right field. I think the wind is going to knock this one down, and it does. That's unfortunate because that was pretty well hit. I think that on a different day that might have been a home run. But Bruce is able to track it down in right field, and the Cubs now have 2 outs and a runner on first. Hayward will be the next batter. 2-2 count to Hayward with the pitch. Hayward swings and misses on a fastball that was up and in. Cubs are retired in the bottom of the 7th. We go now to the top of the 8th and a 9-2 Cardinal lead. Cam Bedrosian will be the new pitcher for the Cubs here in the top of the 8th inning. Almora will stay in and play center field for the injured Happ on the double switch. 0-1 count now. Bedrosian pitching and against the Cardinal pinch hitter Ryan Hesley. And Ryan Hesley hits it into right center field. That is going to be a double to lead off the Cardinal half of the 8th inning. That got all the way to the wall, and Hayward got it back in quickly, but he could not prevent the extra base hit. Bedrosian now pitching with Hesley on second and Wong the batter. 1-0 count with the pitch. And Wong hits it very hard and very high, and that is going to be out into the stands in right field. He hit it right into the section that juts out from the well, and the Cardinals now lead 11-2 on the 408-foot home run. And I'm just going to have to go out and say that Bedrosian probably threw the wrong pitch in that situation. Carpenter will now be the batter. Bedrosian pitching with nobody out and 2 runs already in. A 1-2 count. With the pitch. And he manages to swing and miss and Bedrosian records the strikeout on a fastball. Goldschmidt now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. And there is ball 4 high. Goldschmidt walks down to first with the base on balls, and Bruce will now bat for the Cardinals. A 1-2 count. Bruce hits it high to center field. It looks like that'll be playable, and it is for Almora. Goldschmidt retreats to first, no chance to tag up on that play. And DeYoung will bat with 2 outs and a runner on first. 0-2 count. And he hits a ground ball too short. Baez goes to Fletcher covering second. Fielder's choice will end the inning. 2 more Cardinal runs score, and it is now an 11-2 lead going into the Cub half of the 8th inning. Fletcher will now lead off. The Cubs have the 2-3-4 batters coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 count to Fletcher. Helsley with the pitch. And there is strike 3 for the first out. Swing and a miss by Fletcher. Rizzo now the batter for the Cubs. Full count to Rizzo with 1 out with the pitch. And he swings and misses. And that is strike 3 for the second batter in a row. Cubs now have 2 outs, nobody on, and Baez the batter. 1-2 count with the pitch. And that's a ground ball to first. It gets beyond the diving Goldschmidt all the way down into the right field corner, down where the bullpens used to be. And now Baez is standing on second with the double. The Cubs still have 2 outs, and Schwarber is the new batter. Full count to Schwarber. And he, in an uncharacteristic show of patience, actually takes ball 4 outside. That'll give the Cubs runners on first and second with 2 out, and Bryant the batter. Cubs really need some runs to start to get back into this game if they think they're going to make a move. This would be a good place. Bryant hits it hard right at the third baseman, and it just gobbles him up. The third baseman, Carpenter, is not able to make a play, and Bryant is safe at first on an infield single. Cubs now have the bases loaded with Contreras the batter. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 count to Contreras. And Contreras watches ball 4 go by high. Good eye by Contreras. And in a quirk of the baseball rules, he is actually credited with a run batted in, although the bat did not actually touch the ball. And the Cubs manager David Ross is sending the pitcher Cam Bedrosian to bat for himself in this situation. There are bases loaded and 2 outs, and the Cubs only have 4 outs remaining in this game. And Ross has decided that he doesn't want to burn up another reliever. He wants to send Bedrosian to pinch hit, or to hit for himself instead of a pinch hitter. And just so we're clear, the Cubs still have 2 available pinch hitters on the bench. So, Bedrosian batting for himself with a full count, and he swings and misses for the 3rd out. I don't know that anyone is particularly surprised by that outcome. We go now to the top of the 9th. The Cubs leave the bases loaded, and Bedrosian is going to pitch to the Cardinals with an 11-3 deficit. Tommy Edman, another defensive sub for the Cardinals, will lead off the top of the 9th inning. 2-2 count, Bedrosian with the pitch. And Edman hits it hard into center field, but Almora, on the move, makes the catch to retire the first batter. Bader will now bat. And gosh, I'm sure glad that Bedrosian was left in to pitch to 1 batter in the top of the 9th inning so that Jeffress could pitch to the righty Bader. Love that decision making. So now Jeffress will pitch with 1 out, nobody on base, and an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike three, and Jeffress strikes out Bader looking. Jeffress will now pitch to Molina with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 9th inning. 0-1 count. And a little ground ball right out in front of the plate. Contreras picks it up and throws to first to retire the side. Cardinals go down in order. And we have the Cardinals sending Alex Reyes to pitch in the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to protect an 8-run lead. Almora, the defensive sub for Happ earlier in the game, will lead off the Cubs half of the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-0 count to Almora. Here's the pitch. Almora hits it on the ground to short. The relay to first, and Almora is retired for the first out. Hayward now the batter. Facing the Cardinals, Reyes with a 2-2 count. Hayward fights it off into short right field. The shortstop is actually there. He crosses over the bag and makes the play in short right field. DeYoung recording the second out. And the Cubs are down to their final out. Fletcher's the batter. 3-0 count to Fletcher. And he watches ball 4 go by high. Well, the Cubs need base runners if they're going to get back into this game. And there's the first one of the inning. Rizzo will now bat with Fletcher on first and 2 down. 0-1 count. He hits it hard in right field past the first baseman Goldschmidt. Fletcher thinks about going for third. He makes a big wide turn at second, but ultimately he holds up. And the Cubs have first and second now, and 2 down, Baez the batter. With the first pitch to Baez, and that'll be a base hit into left field. He gets it past the shortstop. The Cubs think about sending the runner from third, but ultimately Fletcher holds, and Schwarber will now bat with 2 outs. The base is loaded. Cubs down by 8 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Reyes, with a 2-2 count, pitches to Schwarber, and Schwarber swings and misses, and that will end the game. Well, for an 11-3 game, the Cubs sure had a lot of opportunities to score runs that were squandered. Final line score, the Cardinals 11 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Cubs 3 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. Looking at the line score, we will see that the player of the game is the Cardinals' Colton Wong. He managed to go 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs and drawing a walk, as well as hitting a home run. The Cardinals' McCollis earns his second win of the season. He went 6 2/3 with 7 hits, 2 runs both earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The Cubs' Kyle Hendricks is tagged with his second loss of the season. He drops to 1-2. He went 4 1/3 with allowing 5 hits, 7 runs. 5 of them were earned. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. The Cubs' bullpen wasn't exactly spectacular either. McGill and Bedrosian both allowing 2 more runs to score. And ultimately, Ian Happ was also injured in this game. Let's see if we have an update on him. It shows that he is out and pending. So we don't have an update on Happ. I wonder if we look at the Cubs and we see Nick Birdie, he is still also showing his diagnosis pending. So no update there either. Well, thank you for listening to Replacement Player Baseball.